chapters, you're going to have to leave one of these three, Jagen, Abel, or Cain, behind. And then, in some cases, the character will come back to you in a later chapter. However, I played this game multiple times and I found that that's not always the case. Sometimes the character winds up dying. I don't know what determines it between living and dying, though. So, what I do is I leave my strongest character out of the fight for the first several rounds, which is Jagen. So I usually put him completely out of sight. And I will bring these guys into the fight. Because Jagen is the character we're going to leave behind, hoping that he returns in the later chapter back to the team. That way all of my characters are kind of spanned out with levels and stats. This guy here, he's pretty strong too. We don't really need to level him up at this level, but if you leave him out too long, he's going to be really weak in the end. So what I like to do is I like to level my archer out here. Marth gets pretty strong pretty quick, so we'll just have him visit every place. And the princess here to take out this guy. Pretty weak. And the way I'm showing you how to do this is the best way to play this first level here, guys. Because this is actually your weakest character, and you want to take out as many characters as you can that she can possibly take out. And I'm not going to move this guy that round. We're going to go ahead and end. Oh, he got to my archer. That's interesting. Should have calculated that move. Now, I played this on the DS as well as the NES several times. This is the one that was never released in the United States for the original Nintendo, but it was coded in English by fans. So this is an English-coded version of the NES original that was never released in the United States here. Each of these levels here is going to be about, it can go anywhere from a half hour to 3 hours per level, just depending on how things go. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to speed up each level for these Fire Emblem rounds. And that way they're super quick when they're uploaded to YouTube. Sometimes I like to do some other things while I'm doing these. I smoke pipe tobacco and I drink a little bit of wine and stuff, so. Alright, let's get back to it. 15, that's good. Another good thing about having the princess down here is she can fly over the water once she's done killing the thief there. And kind of catch up to the other guys. Alright, so what we want to do here. Javelin. Starting out, you want to use the javelin with this guy because he's fairly weak. So range attacks with him starting out. These three guys are going to come down here, so what we're going to do is we're going to go right here. We're actually going to use the skill going now. We're going to need him down here. I've beaten this several times on the DS and the NES. Is it the shop or the armory? It's the armory. We don't need the armor yet. We want to get rid of the iron weapons. Use them up. Alright, that concludes our turn here. Okay. Oh, got my archer. Should be fine though. Gotcha. Nope. We don't want to pull this guy in until the bowman is dead. We do want to get just a little bit closer though. Oh, fuck. Okay. I thought it was long for a second. We're good. give her the experience points here. So, before we end this round, this first level here, we want to get all the items with the characters that we want them to be with. Because in this one you can't switch items. Well, you can send everything to Convoy. Let me see here. Convoy. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is, what does he have? He has, okay, he's the only one at this current time that can use silver weapons. He has an iron sword, which we want to kind of get rid of, or use up. He's the only thing right here. Alright, the reason we use steel here is because later you're going to get another bowman that can't use steel weapons right away, and the bowgun is stronger than an iron bow, so we want to give the bowgun to the other bowman later. That's why we use the steel here to preserve the bowgun to give to the other bowman in the later chapter. She has iron. She's one of the weakest characters, so what we want to do is we actually want to give her the ranged javelin, and give to her. Now he has an iron sword. She has an iron sword and a javelin, so she has a ranged weapon now. He has an iron sword and an iron lance. He has a vulnerary, an iron lance, and an iron sword. Okay. Iron sword, iron sword. So what we want to do is we want to give her this iron lance. And we're doing this, that way these characters have iron swords that they can use up and get rid of quicker. Because these are going to be virtually ineffective against some of the characters in a few more chapters. They're going to be very pointless and you want to get rid of them instead of trashing them and buying steel weapons right away. You want to use them up on the enemies. The javelins are actually stronger, they carry more damage on enemies, that's why we gave her the javelin here. But she's also going to have the sword on hand because of the weapon triangle just in case. So her primary weapon is going to be the iron lance when it comes to non-range combat. But we're going to use the javelin whenever we can to start out just to raise her level. And again, we're going to keep the default weapon on him as iron sword. And this guy here, we actually want to give him the vulnerary because he's the only one that can heal our units right now, but we have nothing to heal him with, so that's what we're going to give him the vulnerary. So, move this vulnerary right here, item, vulnerary, we're going to give that raise. Alright, and that concludes our weapon switch up.